Hey, I'm Jon.
And I'm Jake, and we're late to the show. That's the truth and the podcast.
We talk about movies neither of us have seen, one of us has seen, or both of us have seen. But we want to talk about it anyway.
We upload every Tuesday, every week, so don't be late. So you thought it was better than Ralphie May too?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I just haven't seen either, so.
Yeah, it's way better. It's better than Ralph Breaks the Internet. The Incredibles 2 is probably another one that's going to be up for it. It's better than Incredibles 2.
Yeah, Incredibles 2 was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even think it was as good as the first one.
No, I don't think so either. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't.
Right, it was good. I just liked the first one a lot.
Yeah, but then I think there's a nostalgia factor for the first one. Speaking of nostalgia.
And speaking of animation.
And animation.
I wonder if the Pokemon movie, was that nominated for any awards?
I doubt it. I very, very highly doubt it.
I'm late.
No, you got here right on time.
No, I'm late.
It's the Late Show.
Sorry I'm late.
You're too late.
The wizard is never late.
Can I help you? Yeah, I'm going to see the show.
But not to come late.
You are late.
Late, man. Always late, huh?
The hour grows late.
But is he already too late to save his friends?
You're late. I'm not paying for this.
You're too late.
And I'm like, dude.
Fine. Let's call it that.
I would say yes, it lives up to the hype. What little hype I had for it was pretty damn good. Let me tell you, that's a movie that gets by on nostalgia.
Well, I still liked it, and it had good plot. The dialogue was really bad.
I was actually reading apparently trivia.
I read the trivia too.
Yeah, and apparently the Japanese version
Tells a totally different story.
Very different story. Where instead of Mewtwo just trying to take over the world in some generic evil plot, he's trying to earn his place in the world and prove that he's worth something by doing this, as opposed to basically because he was supposed to be equal to humans, so he's trying to prove
that he's
that
equal,
he can
if
be,
not
or that
better.
he's worth something, that he's earned his place. It's a little darker and a little more depressing.
Yeah, I like that thought, but I don't even see how any of his actions, regardless of dialogue.
Because he's trying to find the best trainers and beat them to prove that he is the same. He's doing the same shit Ash is trying to do.
But then why clone Pokemon? So he could be a better trainer?
Yeah.
A lot of eugenics in this also, if I'm just talking about it.
Oh, we'll get to it. But I have a quote from Meowth that you might remember that I saved on my phone so I wouldn't forget it.
What's the quote?
The quote is, "How am I supposed to trust you? You were born different." Meowth. Pokemon
Does he
the
say
first
that?
one.
Does he say that to the clone Meowth?
Yeah, he says that to the clone Meowth.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you say that to a clone version of you? Knowing what you know about yourself? I'd be
No.
like, I don't know about you.
No, because I know what that guy's going to do.
I mean, I was talking more about how Mewtwo is spouting on about how he is breeding the superior race of Pokemon and how the rest of them aren't even worth anything because they're slaves.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that too, obviously. But just that one line from Meowth, I'm like, what?
I mean, I don't know if You know what I was also thinking? I wonder if Dolly the Lamb felt the way Mewtwo felt when Mewtwo was born.
Maybe.
Do you think she finally grew up and she was like, what is my purpose? I am not this sheep I see before me.
I'm going to say probably not.
Probably not. Well,
Probably not,
I mean,
'cause-
just because she wasn't psychic.
Well, I mean...
We don't know what she was
See,
thinking.
that was their other... We're talking about Pokemon, the first movie, in case you haven't picked that one up yet.
Yeah, they heard Mewtwo enough times.
I think so. Why go with a psychic type? I get you're cloning
So
Mew.
they can be able to talk.
Yeah, but if your goal is just to control it, why not fucking make the best Snorlax? It's a normal type Pokemon, and it can't psychically destroy an entire island.
It also can't really... Snorlax don't really... They're not the top tier of Pokemon.
Snorlax is one of the tankiest Pokemon.
I mean, only because he stands still. Snorlaxes don't run fast.
No, but he can put himself to sleep, and when he does that, he gets all his HP back.
Great, and he's asleep for 3 turns.
Nope, and then you can use Snore, which deals damage while you're asleep.
Deals damage?
Yes, it does.
What, hurt your ears?
I guess. I don't know, man. It's Pokemon rules. But you use Snore. It deals damage to your opponent, and then you can also, as the Snorlax, put your opponent to sleep. I love Snorlax.
And, okay.
And there's a disturbing lack of Snorlax in this movie.
I don't think there's any Snorlax in this movie.
Exactly.
Okay. I do want to say I do still like the movie. Half is nostalgia. Other half is, I mean, like, the plot's not horrible. It's just the dialogue is really bad. Like, they could hit all the same plot points, which is maybe what the Japanese version does. I mean, it would have to, based on the action. But the dialogue and stuff is just really weird. Like, so Giovanni has all these scientists create a better version of Mew.
Okay.
They are all psyched when they finally get it, and Mewtwo wakes up and like, oh my god, you're awesome. We made you to be better than this guy. This is a huge feat of science.
Yep.
And, I mean, understandably, he gets mad, whatever. But
then...
then...
experiment on him.
Right. And then Giovanni comes along and says, like, fuck those guys. You're my partner.
Yeah.
Even though he hired them. And then... So by getting Mewtwo on his side, by being like, hey, we're partners. Yeah. And then he trains him up, makes him even stronger. And then he's like, you obey me, motherfucker. What did you think was going to happen?
Man, remember earlier, like 2 weeks ago, when he blew up your lab with his mind?
And he did that to people who were psyched he was alive. Yeah. They were just happy he was alive.
Yeah, they're like, holy shit, you actually made it through.
You just said, you're going to be my slave, and they blew up on you. Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah, come on, man.
You could say, like, hey, kill this guy because he said some shit about you that you probably wouldn't like. Just get him. Yeah. Like, I mean, you could have played the game a little longer with a Pokemon that can destroy you and everything you own.
Yeah, there's a reason Giovanni's the one in charge of Team Rocket and why Team Rocket sucks so bad. Pretty consistently.
It was just really stupid. I mean, like that's an example of just making a bad guy bad because...
Yeah, but also, I mean, he plays such a small role in this movie.
I know, but
relatively, at least screen time.
Well, his role is the motivation for Mewtwo. So,
yeah,
I mean,
screen time.
When it's something, screen time wise. But I mean, for even if he's got little screen time, he should say something pretty prevalent to the movie. I mean, something that sounds smarter.
You'd think, but I mean, again, Team Rocket is just full of shitty ideas.
Right. I also didn't really get Mewtwo's, like... I get his motive, but I don't get his method.
Yeah, I'm going to beat you by cloning your Pokemon and then beating... And also, if he's trying to prove that he can be the best Pokemon trainer, he goes about it the wrong way.
Right, that's not training Pokemon.
Well, that's not training Pokemon, but also he clearly doesn't understand, like, weaknesses for Pokemon. Because, like, when the chick's like, I'm going to use my fucking Venusaur... to fight you. What does Mewtwo use? Not as Charizard like an intelligent trainer would use. No, he also uses his Venusaur. It's like, dude, come on, man. You kick the shit out of it with the correct Pokemon.
And something I didn't pick up on when I was a kid was that he turned off all their special abilities. Because I was wondering, I was like, why are they all like arm wrestling and fucking punching each other? Why don't they use like flamethrower or something?
Did he say that?
Yeah, he's like, I will turn off all their special abilities with my psychic powers. And I'll prove they're stronger.
Okay, to be fair... I saw this with Molly and her brother, and we were joking about the movie the entire way through, so I missed large segments of dialogue because of how I'm not going to say I don't like this movie anymore, but to me it doesn't hold up. And I think really that was to be expected. Because, the last time I saw it was fucking nearly 20 years ago, probably, when it came out. So... But, I mean, it doesn't hold up when you're an adult and can think a little bit more critically and when you've got more exposure to the games and, like, the lore of all of it. Because I'd also like to point out as a weird thing, so Mewtwo's plan involved getting all the best trainers, right? Mm-hmm. And then they all arrive at this ferry, and there's at least one person there with a Caterpie. Like, that's going to be the... I'm like, that guy has a fucking Caterpie.
Well, that's why he didn't make it to the island.
Well, and then, my other question is, when they walked through the cave at the island, how come every 2 steps wasn't a Zubat?
I didn't notice that. Maybe Mewtwo banished all the Zubat.
Yeah, but I mean, give the guy with the Caterpie a chance. He could have come out of that with a fucking Butterfree by the end of that. Well, I had to fight 6 million fucking Zubat, but now I have a Butterfree.
Well, he fucked up because he tried to surf on his Caterpie all the way to the island. Drowned immediately. Also, I mean, the whole role of the harbor master when they get to the ferry. Did you hear her talk?
Oh, the prophet and how the Pokemon tears will cure the rain or whatever the fucking bullshit
right.
prophecy
Well,
was.
she tells them all, like, this storm is fucking crazy. None of you are going to make it. And then they all take off anyway. And she's like, they just look at it as a challenge. This is why they're great. It's like, you just told everyone they were going to die. This doesn't make them great. This could kill them.
Well, there goes another slew of 10-year-olds.
And Officer Jenny threatened to arrest them.
Yeah. They all get back to shore, and there's just this huge squad of police just cuffing Pokemon trainers.
It's just like Monty Python. The end of
Exactly.
Monty
It's
Python.
the exact same way.
Like right as Mew and Mewtwo are about to clash together, cops just grab them and pull them into the trucks.
God damn.
And yeah, like I said, the dialogue's kind of rough, but like, you know, there's certain sequences in the movie that's still like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you know what I've noticed with anime movies? This is kind of always the same. They always put so much dedication. They put a lot more dedication into the animation itself. Like they, you know, add more shading, make the contrast better. They throw in a few more frames of animation so it doesn't jump as much.
Yeah.
But then the story always is rough.
Yeah.
Because Dragon Ball Z's done it with all fucking 9 of their movies where it looks awesome. And it even sounds awesome because they put more into like the score and then like other soundtrack pieces.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I'm not following what's happening. I'm following it, but I don't like how I'm following it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't like the woods this is taking me through.
It's just, I agree. The story, and maybe that's what it is, because I still think it looks really nice for Pokemon. I mean, that's still really good animation. I think at least the one fight at the beginning of the movie between Ash and that random fucking pirate guy who showed up.
Yeah, by the way, he's wearing a Team Aqua symbol from the Ruby Sapphire era, but he's wearing it on a red bandana, so that's kind of weird. He's wearing a Team Aqua symbol on a Team Magma headband.
Oh, okay. See, that makes no sense.
No.
I didn't make it that far in the games. I stopped at Gen 1, maybe a little bit of Gen 2. But yeah, I never made it to Ruby or Sapphire, so.
Yeah, he even had a Gen 2 Pokemon, though, too.
Who?
Donphan. Was that Gen 1? I thought it was
fuck's
Gen 2.
Donphan?
It was that fucking rolling elephant.
I'll look. But,
It was the one he used against Ash.
I remember now. Fucking. How do you spell Donphan? Is it
Donphan?
Oh, no. Yeah, he's a Gen 2. His Pokédex entry is 232, so that makes him a Gen 2 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Huh. Gen 2 must have been going on. Well, I mean, but Misty has her Togepi, and Togepi's Gen 2.
Yeah, but she got... Well, no, I don't think Togepi is.
Togepi's Gen 2.
Really?
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go, and Togepi is past the Gen 1 Pokemon.
Oh. I thought she got it in Gen 1, though.
Maybe
I guess
on the
not.
show,
She had the
but-
Psyduck for a long time. No.
and the Staryu.
Well, yeah, she had Staryu and Starmie, which was always weird.
Yeah. Well, and the fucking Staryu makes a weird goddamn noise. I don't
Yo! Like that noise?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is that? Aren't you supposed to just say your name?
It doesn't have a mouth, so it's really not saying anything. That might just be the sound of it shooting through water.
That's a good point. Also, let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that Team Rocket made their on a Weezing,
Yeah?
which is not a water type.
Yeah, but it floats.
Barely. That thing looked like it was drowning.
Well, they couldn't tie fucking Arbok into an inner tube, so they had to do Weezing.
Oh man, and I don't know how on topic we're going to be with our normal points as so much as we're just going to kind of tear apart.
Yeah, this is just kind of a riff.
This is going to be this one's going to be more of a riff on the Pokemon. I'd like to point out that they used Meowth as a masthead when they arrived dressed as Vikings.
Oh, I think I had to watch traffic when I first saw them row up as Vikings.
Yeah.
Did you hear the Minnesota Vikings joke, too?
I did. And I saw the dumbest piece of trivia on IMDb as a factual error. Minnesota does not exist in the world of Pokemon. And I'm like, no shit, but
They're in
that's why it's a
Japan.
joke.
Yeah, actually, it's not even in Japan because they have like the Hoenn region, Kanto region. Yeah, that joke's not for kids because I never picked up on that.
Yeah, no. And crazy, that's about the only time you could say that joke's not for kids, and it's still a completely like child appropriate joke.
Right, like it's okay for kids, but they wouldn't have understood it.
Yeah. They've been like, unless they're from Minnesota and they're Minnesota
Yeah, I
Vikings
guess
fans,
maybe.
that's about as specific a group of children as would get that joke. Well, really, actually, no, we could still be on topic. We're talking quality right now. I mean,
This is definitely a movie we both saw, though.
oh yeah.
Did
No,
you go to the theaters and see it?
Yeah, I actually saw
Oh,
this
really?
one in theaters.
Oh, I didn't. I wait for I don't know if I waited specifically. I just had to wait for it to come out on DVD.
No, I dragged my poor mother to go see Pokemon, the first movie, in theaters, and she did not like it.
Did you play the games like with the show, or did you watch the show and then play the games later?
That I don't really remember which one came first. Again, the only one I actually own is Yellow, the Pikachu edition.
Do you still have it?
Yes, I do.
Oh shit! Dope.
Yeah, I still got my Game Boy Color.
Sick.
Stay tuned for the full play of Pokemon Yellow on Game Boy Color. Man, I had the fucking like magnifying backlight or light thing where you slide it on, you can magnify the screen, and you get a light on the screen.
Right.
Let me tell you, backlight is a hell of a thing.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance SP kind of was dope because it actually had backlit lit like built into it.
Yeah, that love my Game Boy Color, but you know I would play that on car rides home, and I couldn't see
I
shit.
just had no idea what was going on.
I had the little spiral light, and then, and I never beat it. I could not get past the Final Four when I was a stupid child. So,
Oh, really?
Then I got a ROM of Fire Red, and I beat that. So,
Oh,
about-
Fire Red,
which is just like the HD quote
yeah,
unquote.
yeah. I had
Air
both of them,
quotes
Fire
don't
Red
work
and
so
Leaf
well
Green.
on podcast. Yeah, I got the Fire Red ROM, and I finally beat that. So,
So
how about you? How
I had only watched the show and then like seen them like movies and stuff. I legit didn't get a Pokemon game until Ruby and Sapphire were out. And they were already out for like a year or two by the time I got it.
damn?
So I was like late to the game with the games. A little late to the show with the games. How about that?
There we go.
So,
New podcast.
So like really my only background for Pokemon was just the show up to the movie. So when I first saw it, like none of it really felt out of the ordinary for me. I just knew all the backstory of the show.
Yeah.
So, but now, like you said, having like, you know, played more of the games and stuff and like, you know, just knowing more about Pokemon in general, yeah, the movie was kind of weird.
Yeah. It's,
And also just being able to see my memory of the story for the movie worked out fine.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't pay attention to like all the small details that they throw in there. Like
Yeah.
my memory was they created Mewtwo. Mewtwo was pissed that he felt like a copy, so he blew everything up. Then he could tell that Giovanni was using him, blew him up.
Forgot all about the Giovanni bit.
I remember the Giovanni bit, but I thought he just thought he was being used as a weapon, which he kind of was. Blew that asshole out. And then, let's see, I'm trying to remember what I was thinking. I can't. I think the way I remembered it was he invited all those trainers to his island so he could clone their Pokemon, and then he could take over the world with their Pokemon. Not that he like wanted to prove that he was better.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then Mew does show up, and so he wants to beat Mew, and that's like his moment of proving he's like the better version.
Yeah.
And then Ash gets in the middle because he doesn't want to see all these Pokemon fighting, and then gets turned to stone.
Yeah, see, and you remembered before watching this way more of it than I did. I remember Mewtwo could talk. Mm-hmm. I remember Pikachu having to fight a clone of Pikachu,
Right.
which he didn't even do.
Bowed out.
Well,
Respectfully.
in my memory, I remember them like the scene where like the Pikachu's like slapping him or whatever. I remember that, but in my memory, each of them were slapping each other and crying and like miserable that they were doing this. But in my recollection, it says, "Oh, they're exhausted." That was my recollection of the scene. And then I remember Ash being turned to stone, Pikachu shocking him, And then somehow Ash is back. All's good. with
Oh,
the
you
world.
didn't remember that it was the tears that brought him back to life?
Nope. I remembered so little of this movie. And it was basically like watching a brand new movie to me.
Well, see, like, the way I remembered it, like, that is all what happened, but it's all the small details.
Like
That-
the guy with the Caterpie.
Well, yeah. But, like, all their, like, conversation where they, like, drop certain things and they try to foreshadow stuff, it almost ruins the movie. Like, if you just look at it based on the plot points, it's a good movie. But then when you hear people talking in the movie, you're like, you are all fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's...
It's just... It's
the
just,
dialogue is so bad.
like... I'm trying to think of it. Whoever wrote the story did a good job. Whoever wrote the dialogue should be fired.
And also, whoever came up with the moral of this movie was an idiot.
Yeah,
Because that
I was
totally
thinking about that too.
undermines the entire point of Pokemon. You know what's really bad? Fighting, says the people who participate in legal state-sponsored dogfights.
I know. Well, I thought it was funny because they all come to this big realization. You're right. We shouldn't fight. I'll never fight again. And Mewtwo's like, I'm going to erase their memory. They're not going to remember shit about this. Mewtwo's like, all right, let's go back to fighting, y'all.
And then Mewtwo's like, well, maybe you don't need to remember this. It's too painful a memory. Mewtwo, how do you think people grow?
Well, you know, he hasn't grown yet, all right?
Okay, that's
he's
fair.
a month old.
That's a fair point. But
Also, how did Team Rocket not know about Mewtwo? Their
Yeah,
boss
that-
made him.
I mean,
I mean, to be fair, Giovanni, like, hates that branch of Team Rocket.
That's
he fucking
true.
can't stand them. So he might not have told them, but still.
they're the people who looked at the screen, said, "Who's that Pokemon?" to a Scyther and said, "Alakazam."
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, the one guy has a Pidgeot and calls it Pidgeotto, so he's a
Yeah.
fucking dick, too.
Yeah. Though to be fair, at a quick glance, I cannot tell the two Pokemon apart.
Pidgeot has way longer head feathers.
No.
Pidgeotto has just 3 that stick up, and Pidgeot has gold running down the middle. Pidgeotto has just 3 pink feathers sticking out of his head.
Gotcha.
Oh, no. Pidgey has the 3 sticking up. Pidgeotto just has 3 down to the back of its neck.
And then Pidgeot's just got the really long one.
Right. And it's also fucking massive. Pidgeotto's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
2 feet tall.
Well, and I'd also like to point out that with the Mr. All My Pokemon are water type, he's got a Nidoqueen. She's not a water type.
She just really likes water. She's blue. Who gives a fuck?
Hopefully he didn't try to surf to the island on his Nidoqueen, because that wouldn't have worked.
Well, Nidoqueen could learn surf if it's got a big enough body. Not all of them had to be water type specifically to learn surf. There's
That's
a couple
true.
that could
Because
use
if I'm not
surf
mis-
and not be water
can't
type.
Pikachu learn some weird, like not electric type move that's not cut?
I think Pikachu might be able to learn Rock Smash. I don't know. Oh, hold on.
We can look this shit up.
And we're back. We had to take a quick pause in a moment to feed our cat, my cat, not John's, my cat.
Yeah, I
had
don't
to
have
feed
a
him.
cat. But yeah, Pikachu can learn both fly and surf. Weirdly enough.
Because you want to explain why?
The explanation that I was able to find, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure if this gets out and if this ever gets uploaded, people will let me know. Apparently in Pokemon Stadium he could learn it, and he'd have like a surfboard or a fucking some balloons, and that's how he could do it. And then you could transfer that into another game. Again, this is just what I did a very cursory Google search for. Either way,
That's not
Pikachu.
even so much Pikachu like using fly. It's more like people using fly on Pikachu.
Yeah.
Just strap him to like 15 balloons. All right, see you later.
Yeah, but if you can get a Pikachu that takes a turn off the screen and then comes in with one of the best attacks in the game.
Well, fly is not one of the best attacks in the game.
Are you shitting me? I spam fly
Really?
constantly.
God, fly sucks. It's
Dude.
it's a 2-turn move. I
Yeah,
hate all those moves. Dig, fly, fuck them.
yeah. And when it one shots my opponent, I don't care that that I'm up there for a turn.
What are you fighting, bugs? How does fly ever one-shot anyone?
I don't know, man. I swear to God, I use
You gotta
fly.
get back into Pokemon. You're gonna have to get a Switch and get Let's Go Pikachu. Teach that one fly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's most of my teams tend to consist of a couple bird type Pokemon. So
Really? I never liked bird type.
see, I use Pidgeot. I mean, until I get the legendary birds, and then my Pidgeot's out. But Pidgeot sticks with me most of the game. usually.
Right. I never played the first gen, so.
Oh, see. Maybe that's where you're missing out.
Right.
But,
I mean, I always kept a flying type in there, but only so I could use fly. It wasn't like I loved them.
Okay, so you're going to... This is the Pokemon strategy moment part of the podcast. So you're gonna waste a space on your team for a Pokemon that you're not even gonna fight with?
No. I still fight with him, but I'm not dedicated to that Pokemon. Like I only have him there. Like the only reason I would keep a high level flying Pokemon with me is for fly.
I mean, shit. If I'm not opening with a Snorlax, I'm usually opening with a Pidgeot. Or an Onix or a Gyarados. My teams are weird.
I usually try and stick with I usually try and keep a party of rare Pokemon too. Like if I get a legendary, that's a mainstay now.
Yeah. No, I mean Zapdos is probably the most used Pokemon I've ever had.
Really?
Zapdos, yeah. But by the time I get him.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm not opening the game and he's one of my starters. But...
Well, yeah, obviously. I just meant out of the three, I'm surprised Zapdos. I mean, usually it's either Moltres or Articuno for me.
Yeah, no, Zapdos.
Because Moltres was a fucking nightmare to catch.
Yeah. I think in my Pokemon Yellow playthrough, I don't remember if it was Articuno or Zapdos, but I used the Master Ball on one of them.
Yeah, on Fire Red, I had to eventually use my... I swear to God, I went through 80 Pokeballs because I always like to catch every Pokemon with Pokeballs. I don't like using Great Balls or Ultra Balls. Oh. But I ended up using a Master Ball on him. I caught Mewtwo with a Pokeball. Had to use a Master Ball.
I didn't know that was
Moltres.
possible. I thought you had to use the Master Ball to catch Mewtwo.
No.
I thought that was a requirement.
Nope. I can break out my old leaf green copy and show you.
I'm not disagreeing. That was all. Again, I've actually never gotten to Mewtwo. I finally beat the Final Four in Gary at the end of Fire Red. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, well, now how the fuck do I get because it kicked me to the fucking credits. I'm like, how do I get to Mewtwo? I want to go get Mewtwo.
In Cerulean Cave.
Is that after because I thought he was after the Final Four.
No. Well, you can't play after you beat the Elite Four.
Some piece of shit lied to me then.
Well, yeah, they started making it so you could. Because you'd beat the Elite Four and you'd end up back in your house.
Maybe after the credits roll or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe you just didn't wait till the fucking credits to finish rolling.
I guess I did not.
Well, that's what it was in Leaf Green anyway, so I don't know about.
Well, I mean, Leaf Green and Fire Red that's all first gen.
Oh, you said you didn't beat Yellow. That's right.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you played Red.
Yeah, no, I beat Fire Red. That was the only one I beat.
Yeah. You should have restarted back at Palette, and then you could go back to Cerulean. Cerulean Cave is open. I usually go with water types.
My man. Good choice. Squirtle all the fucking way.
Well, I think Wartortle might be my favorite Pokemon.
That's understandable. I've got a shiny Wartortle with sunglasses in Pokemon Go.
Really? That's sick. What color is he?
They're all the shinies are purple. I'll show you. This is the visual part of the audio podcast. I'm currently loading up Pokemon Go. So let's while this is loading up, what else?
I mean, quality. We talked about how the animation's always better in anime movies. They always step up the animation, the SFX. Oh yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. I've got 3 shinies. Also, this was my starter. This is his new name.
Sir Squirts?
Yeah.
That's gross.
I was gonna go with Sir Squirts a lot, but that's too long.
You're nasty. You have to call a living thing that now. You're a monster.
What living thing do I have to call that?
Wartortle.
Yeah, this is a video game.
It's a living animal.
No,
if there's anything I learned from Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, is that all living things deserve respect. And he shouldn't be called Sir Squirts.
Oh, that's what I wanted to fucking bring up, speaking of Sir Squirts. Is the nicknames. The other trainers. Yeah. Because there
Ash even comments on that.
Yeah, but what did the guy call his fucking Venusaur?
Oh, Brute Root.
Brute Root. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't know, that's better than Shell Shocker. That sounds like a superhero name.
It does.
Like, if she even just called it Shell Shock or something.
Yeah.
Shell Shocker sounded
Brute
fucking
Root's
stupid.
kind of a stupid name, too.
It's kind of cutesy, but... Also, can you imagine naming a Bulbasaur Brute Root? It's not even brutish yet.
No, that guy just caught the Venusaur.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Yeah, he found one in the wild.
Social relevance. I mean, I think this movie has social relevance no matter what year it is. It's just talking about how everyone should get along. I mean, the acoustic John Mayer song, "Brother, why am I fighting my brother?" Whatever.
Was it John Mayer?
It sounded like it. I don't think it is. It sounds like John Mayer. Also, weird time for a lighthearted, upbeat acoustic song.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, either have something that's really depressing or something that's really edgy for this huge onslaught of Pokemon fighting Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like the lyrical content works, but you got to put it on some other kind of bed of music.
Yeah, don't put just like the douchebag who only knows like 4 chords on his guitar.
You talking about John Mayer like that? It's pretty ballsy.
Anyways,
coming
here's
from you.
Wonderwall.
That's Oasis, but all right.
No,
yeah.
I'm aware of that, but the joke, of course, being.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a story that gets told a lot. I mean, like, what's so different about us? If we focused on what's the same, then who fucking knows?
Yeah, and I mean, when you're a kid and you don't really have a concept of racism, I mean,
it's a good through line to
it's like
to teach it to people.
Well, the Pokemon don't want to hurt each other because they're not so different, you know. So why should I not like people because they're different?
Meanwhile, let's make these 2 caterpillars punch each other.
Yeah, I mean,
on the playground. That's how snail races got started and shit.
Well, that's how dog fighting gets started. You start with the caterpillars and you work your way up to dogs.
Let's make these chickens peck each other's eyes out. Let's see what happens. Just for the fun of it, let's call them both Pidgey.
I mean, you know that's how all this Pokemon shit got started, right?
Yeah.
It's like, here, let's take these 2 animals and pit them against each other. And instead of it becoming the moral problem that it is, people are like, no, let's keep doing that.
And even when they learn a lesson, they unlearn it.
They unlearn it with a fucking wave of the hand. Also, were you not expecting Mewtwo to just, like, explode the water trainer? When he, like, had him gripped
held him up like that?
Yeah, I'm just like, in any other movie, he would have, like, exploded him with his mind.
Well, that would have been Dragon Ball Z, because Frieza does that. Actually, that would be a hilarious edit to do, because Frieza grabs Krillin and throws him up in the air and blows him up.
I didn't know that. When does this happen?
It happens right before Goku turns Super Saiyan for the first time.
How does Krillin come back?
They wish him... What do you think? The show's called Dragon Ball, buddy. They wish him back.
Okay. I haven't seen Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball or any of them in about as much time as it's been since I've watched Pokemon.
I've got 7 Dragon Balls right... Fucking...
It's Omar.
Where are my Dragon Balls? Well...
I mean, I see the fucking, like...
15.
For Goku.
Oh, there they are. There, see? I've got 7 Dragon Balls right
no,
there.
I
You
saw
want to
that.
make a wish?
No, I'm good, man.
You got someone you want to bring back?
I mean, yeah, but it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
Does it
actually,
still work?
It doesn't work after a year. And natural causes don't count.
I wouldn't count it as a natural. Well, to quote Brian Regan, so naturally he'd be dead. I assume he died of natural causes. He was shot in the face with a cannonball. So naturally he'd be dead.
Fair enough.
Anyway, this isn't Dragon Balls. This is Pokemon.
Also, a little sad right now.
Hey, you're the one who brought it up, man.
I know it. I kind of regret it as soon as I did. But, yeah, I mean, he came back. They wished him back with Dragon Balls.
Interesting. You think Ash could wish his memories back?
No. Also, did Mewtwo, like, can he turn back time? Or
Apparently.
did he just erase everyone's memory, plop them back at the ferry, and then erase those people's memory, too?
But here's... It seemed to me like they lost time. But I mean, Mew
I
is...
lost time, Mr. Bale.
Yeah, bringing it back. They just... I don't... To me...
Then you find out Ash killed the Archbishop.
No, to me it seems like he sent them back in time.
Yeah.
But also Nurse Joy was there. Also, that was the dumbest fucking reveal. Like, oh, Nurse Joy's missing. Huh, this woman looks familiar. Oh, it's Nurse Joy.
Well, it's fucking dumb. All the Nurse Joys look exactly alike. To say this Nurse Joy looks familiar. Yeah, you saw her 2 towns ago, dumb shit.
Well, that was the other thing. And also, I had to look it up because it was asked. of how old Brock was compared to the rest of them, because clearly he's the oldest.
Right, but I mean...
But he's 15.
Oh,
I had to look it up.
Ash is 10, so...
Ash is 10.
Was Misty 13?
Probably.
Split the difference.
But, I mean... Is it not unbelievably creepy how Brock lusts after both Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy and talks about it constantly?
No, I mean...
I get it. He's a horny 15-year-old, but...
What? You never had a crush on an older woman?
I think the reason
for you, man.
I think the reason Brock's eyes don't open is he's been maced in the face so many times they can't anymore.
Well, that and all their genitals are blurry, and he's trying to squint to make them out. Here,
We're gonna take another quick break, folks. Yeah. Oh, and we're back. Try it again.
So I think the last thing we were talking about though was how
Brock.
Mewtwo reset. We were talking about Brock. That's right.
Yeah,
But before that,
Mewtwo apparently reset your memory of this conversation.
Well, he thought the previous conversation was too painful, so
Yeah.
just wanted to help me out there.
Makes sense.
At least until the sequel.
Yes.
Did you know there's a Mewtwo sequel?
No.
Yeah, there's Mewtwo Returns.
Cool. Yeah, I saw Pokemon the first movie and Pokemon 2000.
And you remember way less of Pokemon 2000.
Yeah, I remember
us talking
one
about it
line
last
from
week.
Pokemon 2000.
I mean, I remember all the plot of Pokemon 2000. I don't remember any of the lines, though.
I remember one line, and that's it. Anyways, so Mewtwo rewinding time.
Right.
Can
Yeah,
he do it?
can he do it? I mean,
Let's find out.
I guess he can. He turned a boy into stone. Who knows what he can do?
Well, that was a combined effort.
That was a
Mew.
joke. Yeah. I guess Mew helped him out with that. Yeah, I mean, the storm was still going when they went back, so I guess he rewound time.
Yeah, because the storm stopped with the Pokemon tears originally,
Right.
and then the storm was going again. So
He wouldn't have started it up again just to end it again to make everyone go outside and go, oh, it's so sunny out.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I guess he reversed time.
he threw his consciousness back a week or 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they
8
couldn't have,
hours.
he couldn't have just put everyone there and deleted their memory, because then, like, wouldn't some of those people's parents been like, hey,
How'd
what
that go?
happened?
Oh, please, you
You've
think
been
anybody's
gone for a
parents?
couple hours.
You think anybody's parents is involved? Ash is a 10-year-old running around the wild.
Yeah, and his mom calls up every so often
Yeah.
on those video phones that they apparently had in the 90s. On those big Skype machines.
Yeah, they knew what was coming. Fucking FaceTime.
They didn't know it was going to be the size of a fucking Pokedex, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever have one of those toys, the Pokedex toy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't have Mewtwo on it, though.
Yeah.
That was kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, what, Mewtwo's 151? 152?
It's 151.
I thought, what's Mew then?
Uh,
Mew's not over.
Mew's not even on there, I don't believe.
I thought.
Not in the original 150.
I'm going to look what Mew's Pokedex number is, as well as Mewtwo's.
I'm assuming it'd be 152.
Mewtwo.
There are 150 or more to see. To be a Pokemon master is my destiny.
Mewtwo is number 150.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Shit, I don't think Mewtwo was on there. I guess he would have
Mew
had
is
to have been, though.
151.
I know Mew definitely wasn't on there, but I guess Mewtwo would have had to have been on there. I just don't remember looking him up.
Yeah, the show's the lore's gotten weird. Though.
How so?
I mean, there's just so many more like Pokemon and hidden legendary Pokemon and
Oh, well, yeah.
shit like that. It's just like
I mean,
If
out
there's
of all
only
the
supposed-
Pokemon movies that exist, I've seen 4 or 5.
that's 2 or 3 more than me.
I mean, there's got to be almost 15 now.
Jesus.
Got to be quite a bit. I mean, I think they've done a couple movies for like the same saga of Pokemon also. Like the same generation.
Possibly. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, okay, they did Pokemon 2000. They did Pokemon 3. Or was it 3000, the one with Entei? So they've done a couple from that generation.
You know what? I might have seen the one with Entei too then. I
like
thought he
the one
was
with Entei.
2000.
2000 had Lugia in it. And the birds. And then the one with Entei had the unknown.
Okay, so I've seen 3 of the movies. Because I actually remember, I think I saw that in theaters as well, and they were handing out, like, promotional Pokemon cards.
Oh, did you get the gold one? Or that was Burger King, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh, I've still got that.
I never got one of those.
Yeah, I've got a Charizard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're supposed to take all those back because they were recalled. I'm like, nah, I'm keeping
They're
those.
recalled?
Yeah, because stupid toddlers were making seals around their mouths with them and suffocating themselves.
What do you mean making seals around their mouth?
Like, they would take, like, half the ball and, like, put it over their mouth.
You do that with a fucking cup.
Yeah, well, they did it with the Pokeballs and they got recalled.
That toddler was Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
I don't know what that had to do with anything.
You can't prove that it wasn't.
It's the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler. He just took himself out with a Pokeball. Good.
That's how we would go, wouldn't it be? There's a fucking movie we could watch. You ever see Look Who's Back?
No, I've heard about it, though. I wanted to see it. It's on Netflix, isn't it?
It is. We should add that shit to the list, but we want to go from nostalgia and happy and funny and we can poke fun at it to unbelievably depressing. We could go that way, but...
Oh, yeah, I did hear it got really sad at some points.
Yeah, no, it's a dark movie. It's good.
You mean Adolf Hitler doesn't stay light
Yeah, surprisingly.
and charming?
I don't remember what the exact conversation was, but somebody was talking about Look Who's Back and how it's like this great example of satire and everything. This dumbass on Reddit, he's just like, how is this movie even satire? It's like the whole time it's like it's pro-Hitler, but then at the end it's like, LOL, if you agreed with Hitler in any way, you're actually the problem. And I'm like, dude, that's you. Does the movie need to hold your hand and tell you that Hitler was a bad guy? It's like Wolf of Wall Street. You're just supposed to piece together that Jordan Belfort's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this now. You really need to watch the new H3 video then. Because they do
The Fine
Seinfeld
Brothers?
like that one. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Fine Brothers. Did you watch
Nick was telling me about that. It's like,
It's so irritating.
you're supposed to not like those people. Sometimes the main character, you're not supposed to like them.
Right. They're just a protagonist. They're not a good guy.
Yeah. And damn it, this is a movie with a very classic good guy as the protagonist.
Right.
Because it's the Pokemon movie and it's not going to challenge you in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Because its main target audience was kids.
And continues to be children.
I still liked it. I would watch this movie again.
But can you argue that the demographic for all of Pokemon is still children?
I think because nostalgia is so wrapped up in it now. I mean, adults are watching Pokemon. I mean, me and Kate were legit watching the new season of Pokemon on Netflix.
Okay.
And we enjoyed it. I mean, because the games keep coming out and people from their childhood still enjoy the games.
All right.
I mean,
maybe I'm wrong though.
Pokemon can still be marketed to
I still
everyone.
think the target demo though is children.
Well, yeah, maybe the main target, but I mean, they'd be stupid to... I'd say the original target was children.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone at Game Freak would be stupid to think that adults aren't playing Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
So I think now Game Freak's main target audience is whoever jumped in originally.
Yeah.
Also, they have to take those people into consideration.
That's true. That's true.
Because also, who can afford to buy Pokemon games more now?
I mean,
Adults. And the games are way more expensive now too, because now they're coming out for the Switch, $60.
Oh, and I was going to say, though, the same people who've always bought games for children, their parents.
Right, but now they've got adults who are wrapped up in the Pokemon universe who are making their own money.
That's true.
They make a shit ton of money off them.
Yeah.
They keep coming out with those extra little devices, the little fucking Pokeball you walk around with and use as a controller for the Switch. Hey,
You know, whatever makes
that
you
officially
money.
made it $100 game.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't have a Switch, so.
Well, even like with Pokemon Go, like a ton of adults were playing that.
Yeah, I know. It gets me walking, so.
I was gonna say, you're still playing it.
I am still playing it because Adventure Sync is the thing now.
Adventure Sync?
Yeah, where it counts the steps on your phone.
Oh, that's
so
right,
you don't
told
have
me
to.
about that.
Yeah, so I just keep that shit in my pocket while I'm at work.
Yeah, I keep downloading it back on and then deleting it though because it takes up too much space, and when I'm at work, I get no signal, so I can't do anything.
No.
And I always run out of Pokeballs.
No, I have my thing on airplane mode when I'm at work. Like, I put my phone on airplane mode because I don't have a signal at work. I just wait until that I'm done, and then it's just all these steps all at once.
I know, but I'm there for 10 hours, and then I've got an hour drive back and forth.
Yeah.
I've got no time to play Pokemon Go.
I understand. I understand.
But Pokemon, the first movie.
Pokemon, the first movie.
Did you enjoy it watching it for the second time?
I enjoyed it not as much as I did as a child, obviously. But I mean, again, I watched it and more gave it the Mystery Science Theater treatment where we just kind of riffed on it the whole time we were watching it.
Kind of like this podcast.
Kind of like this podcast. I mean, for the nostalgia, I think it still holds up. I agree with you that the dialogue is so hammy. It's ridiculous. But I mean, I wouldn't. If somebody put it on, I would still sit down and watch it. Mm-hmm. You know?
If I saw it on TV, I'd definitely switch to it. Just be like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I could use this in my life. A little bit of making the world seem small.
Yeah, you know, so just because it's not the most complicated or nuanced movie ever made does not make it not a good movie.
Yeah, you know what it's good for? It's good background movie.
That it is. That it definitely is.
You're doing something else, put Pokemon on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, I still enjoyed it, watching it again.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's kind of funny, like, picking up on all, because I haven't watched it in maybe 8 years. So it was kind of funny picking up on all the stuff I just didn't pick up on at all.
Yeah.
Like all the little jokes that they make, like the Minnesota Vikings thing.
Yeah.
Or even just certain like nuance and dialogue that you don't pick up when you're younger.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's just their word choice is weird.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like I could even if like the story is way different than the one Japan tried to tell, I could think of way better ways for them to word what they're saying and still keep it on the American story, like keep that American story intact.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed weird.
Yeah, the dialogue wasn't the strongest part of this movie by a long shot.
Yeah, it started to really fall downhill with Giovanni. Like the whole first sequence was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's very almost like Ex Machina-esque. Where
I haven't seen that once at all.
Okay, well, it's very any kind of artificial intelligence contemplating its existence,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And then when Giovanni comes in, it starts to fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
So, like, the premise is so cool, but just through conversation, they kind of screw it up. But, you know, I still like the movie. Yeah, I'll still keep watching it.
Yeah, and again, I won't say no if somebody's like, you know, hey, I am putting this on. But if somebody gave me options, maybe I'd pick a different movie, unless the other option was really bad. But no, if someone's like, hey, I'm putting this on, I'm like, all right, cool.
Also, if anyone's wondering why we're not talking about Pikachu's Vacation, that's not on the
Amazon Prime version.
Amazon Prime version. We're just talking about the hour and 15-minute long Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Apparently, there's also a prelude where like it's all Mewtwo like in his cloning tube, and like there were others clones that like he got to know and stuff, but then they all died, and then they wiped his memory of them, which is why then he starts the movie kind of groggy and like, what the hell is going on?
What's the what is that? Is there
I don't
video
know.
of that?
Say what?
Is there video of that? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
no, it's like some prelude to this movie. It was some of the trivia that I saw.
All right, I'll look that up. I missed that piece of trivia because I did look up the trivia on Prime, but I didn't see that.
I looked up the trivia on IMDb.
Oh,
That's where I got all my trivia from. It's IMDb.
okay. I'll check that out then because that'd be interesting to hear. But yeah, so Pikachu's Vacation off the table. We're just talking about the Mewtwo part of the movie.
Yep. Just the main bulk of it. I remember this movie being longer as a child too. Now and then I'm like, oh wow, it's an hour and 15. Pff, we'll power through that in no time.
Right, when I was halfway through, they had just like the sentient Pokeballs were flying around. I was like, this is already halfway through the movie. They wrapped this up kind of quick then.
I'm sorry, that's only halfway through the movie. I felt like there was like 15 minutes left after that.
Or maybe I'm getting it mixed up. There was at one point, it was halfway through the movie, and I was like, oh, shit.
Maybe they just got to the island? Was a halfway point?
I don't remember. But it did move along a lot faster than I thought it did also.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a lot slower. Not like slow in a bad
Yeah,
way.
no,
I just thought it was slower.
in my memory, I remember it being a longer movie.
Right. Does it live up to the hype?
No. I'm going to say no. And for this purpose, as we've both seen the movie, my hype for this is my own nostalgia.
Right.
And remembering that I enjoyed this movie. And still seeing people reference that, like, one of the most profound things they've seen people say is Mewtwo's, like, the circumstances of one's birth is irrelevant. What they do with their life is what matters. Like, that is a profound thing to say in a Pokemon movie. And so there's definitely still, like, a love for this movie. But to me, man, I'm just like, wow, I remember really being impressed with this movie when I was younger. And to me, it doesn't live up to it, which is why I refuse to watch Master of Disguise again.
That movie didn't even live up to the hype when I saw it as a kid.
I loved that movie as a child.
See, I'm going to say this movie, it still lives up to my inner hype because I understand that it may not be quality level, but my nostalgia, like...
overrides it.
Yeah. So, it lives up to my hype.
And that's
fair.
fine.
I'll keep watching it. All right.
So what are we gonna do next? I'm gonna be honest with you. Since we had the discussion about Dreamcasting it for, if we ever got to do it, I think we should watch the Mortal Kombat movie. I think we've both seen it, but
I haven't actually.
You've not seen.
I've seen parts of it. I've seen parts where Sonya kills Kano, and
we should
Goro.
Absolutely. And that's on Netflix.
That one guy. Yeah, it is on Netflix.
So you don't have to pay for this. It's $4 on Prime for Pokemon the movie. You know what? That's what I'm going to say. For $4, I do not feel like that was a waste of $4.
Yeah.
If they were like, hey, it's $20, I would have been like, that's all I got for $20.
No, I wouldn't buy that movie for $20.
Yeah, no.
Let alone rent it.
Yeah, that's a fair point. No, you can buy it on Prime for $15.
If you buy the HD version, yeah.
Yeah. But, so Mortal Kombat is free. It's on Netflix. I think we should watch it. And then maybe we can have a discussion at the end about a Dreamcast for a new Mortal Kombat movie. What do you think? Mortal Kombat for the next one?
Yeah, sure. That one's very doable.
And also, I'd like to say I'm very impressed that 1 week after we said we would record this one a week later, we
did it
this
in a
one
week.
a week later. So I think we're making
That's
progress. We still got to edit all of these, but
I don't think we should do too much editing to them.
not too
Other
much.
than just adding in
Kill
like
some
a
of the dead-
theme and then
kill
a
some of
little
the
bit
dead air. This conversation can go. But no, we're getting there. We're getting there. This might eventually actually release. So
Right. I mean, we've got 6 episodes now, counting the first 2. Or this is 5.
yeah, this is 5. This is 5. Because we had Monty Python, we had what was the other one?
It was a drama, wasn't it?
Okay, we'll come back to it. We had Monty Python, Primal Fear, Creed. Now this. And what the fuck was the first movie? Oh, Halloween.
Oh, that's right.
The original. Halloween, the original.
'Cause I was like, I know we talked about doing Dirty Harry, but we didn't watch it.
Yeah. Well, we talked about doing something else first. Then we changed it to Dirty Harry, and then we changed it to Halloween. I don't even remember what the original one was. We switched that movie 3 times.
Okay. So all right, so that's it for this week.
That is it. Let me pull up the Twitter handle for the podcast. One of these days I'll remember what it is.
Right.
But Jake, for now, where can people find you?
I'm at Jacko_Linguini, JAKO_LINGUINI. Very easy on Twitter. That's the same thing on Instagram, and don't follow me on Facebook.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm at Rosendoom2 on Twitter. Something else on Instagram, but I barely use it. So we'll just stick with Twitter at Rosendoom, ROSENDOOM2 on Twitter. And we are late to the show at LTTS Podcast on Twitter. No Instagram. It's an email address, but that doesn't, who cares? At LTTS Podcast on Twitter.
All right, dope as pocus. So next week we're going to be doing the Mortal Kombat movie, Don't Be Late.